how's it going? I'm Coach Kyle, and if you're looking for a new book to read, I really suggest The Comeback Quotient from Matt Fitzgerald. So today I'm going to talk about some of the lessons I learned from the book, what I think you can take from it, and why I think we should definitely pick it up. Let's dive into The Comeback Quotient. And it was written in 2020, so Matt wrote the prelude to the book during COVID. He wrote the bulk of the book pre-COVID. So the prelude touches base a little on COVID and what we're going through right now as I'm filming this video. But it's geared towards inspiration primarily for athletes. It's geared towards, comeback inspiration for regular people like you and me, telling stories of regular people and elite runners, triathletes, etc. And Matt's hoping to really give us that inspiration we need to know that no matter basically what we go through, there are people just like us who have gone down, deep into the depths of their soul, but have been able to come out of it better than before. So one thing Matt said in the book that I definitely wrote down was that the special few who are proving themselves capable of achieving amazing comebacks are all doing the same things, going through the same processes, and coming back better than before. So Matt's book has a lot of stoic vibes to it, and eventually he did end up quoting Marcus Aurelius, and I'm reading this again, and if you're into stoicism at all, I think you'll like The Comeback Quotient, and if you like The Comeback Quotient, I think you'll like Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. This is top 10 books for many people and books everybody should read. So maybe somebody has it, they're gonna want it back, but they're gonna want you to read it as well. So going back to that making the best of a bad situation, Matt said in The Comeback Quotient that athletes who fail to make the best of a bad situation turn away from reality, whereas athletes capable of achieving great comebacks face reality squarely. Physical ability allows an athlete to do hard things, whereas mental fitness is required to deal with the hard things. So in the book, Matt goes over a 3-step process for dealing with these situations, and it's very important to recognize the situation, but then recognize the process as well. These 3 steps are accepting, embracing, and addressing. Okay, so this next part I actually wrote down in my journal here because I really wanted to be able to understand it and I did that by writing it out so I could see it. And he said that acceptance is recognizing the bad event, not wasting time and energy wishing it was different or in like a panic or denial mode, but making it different. You don't wish it was different, you make it different. And then he said that embracing the process is making the best of that bad situation. You like COVID, or like with COVID for all of us, or my loss of clients at the start of COVID, I embraced the situation and then I addressed the situation with it, which is step 3. So by addressing the situation, Matt said, face the new or current reality head on to make the best of your abilities and execute a smart solution. So for example, when COVID hit in early 2020, I was in Guatemala living at a hostel, and I got back, and I got back when I booked my ticket when they closed the schools down here in town. And when I got back, lockdown started happening around the US and around the world, and I lost a pretty good chunk of my clients that I was coaching because some of them lost incomes. It was not a good time for anybody, as you know, but I made the best of a bad situation. So I looked at what was happening with my business, and I thought to myself, I've lost these clients, and I'm gonna make a few $1,000s less this month, but that means I have more free time. I have less clients that I need to devote time to. So what can I do with that time effectively? And I hired a couple business coaches, and that was definitely one of the best decisions I have ever made for my business. And I used that lower client load, that having extra time, I filled up that time by investing in a couple coaches to make my business better. This is the Comeback Quotient, people. Now this is a small part of the book. That's the meat of it right there, is you need to be real about what's happening. Don't panic. And Matt talks a lot about this with some really awesome examples and interviews from athletes, from rowers and triathletes about, like the little micro events, like what do you do when your transition bag isn't where it should be in T2, or what do you do if you're training for an event and your calf starts to hurt, or you come down with illness, or you get COVID. These are things that I deal with. I help my clients through a lot, especially when a number of them have contracted COVID, or when I have an Australian who's coming back from a sprained ankle, and he said to me that he's worried about his fitness dropping, but my job in situations like this is, okay, you sprained your ankle. There's nothing we can do about that, but we can keep up the strength work. We can do what we can so you can recover. So two things: you can recover as quickly, as best as possible, but now you're not running as much. So let's up the strength work a little bit as well. So when you do get back to being able to run, you're stronger than you otherwise would have been. So this whole process that Matt is talking about in the book, it's the instructions. When life gives you lemons, he's telling you how to make lemonade. So that's just a little bit that he talks about in the Comeback Quotient. There's tons of really great examples, more steps, more ideas, more processes that you can take from the book and apply to just about any bad situation. So I highly suggest you pick up the Comeback Quotient from Matt Fitzgerald. Again, it's an affiliate link in the description of the video. I get a little commission from that. It's super appreciated. And check out Matt's other books as well. I have 3 of his books on my bookshelf over here. I've recommended them to multiple people, multiple clients of mine, and few people have anything bad to say about Matt's work. So check that out. Check out Meditations while you're at it as well. This is one that you're going to want a highlighter for, and you're going to definitely want to gift this to your friends as well. So thanks for watching, and as always, you keep running, I'll keep coaching.